Check out the fully Ramblematic merchandise in our Second Wind store. There's t-shirts, stickers, pins, a fully posable magnet of mead you can put on your fridge, dishwasher, or meth lab. Go to shop.secondwindgroup.com and check it out. Fully Ramblematic Volume 2 Blu-ray containing every 2025 episode is now available in our store. Check out the fully Ramblematic merchandise in our Second Wind store. There's t-shirts, stickers, pins, a fully posable magnet of mead you can put on your fridge, dishwasher, or meth lab. Go to shop.secondwindgroup.com and check it out. Fully Ramblematic Volume 2 Blu-ray containing every 2025 episode is now available in our... Check out the fully Ramblematic merchandise in our Second Wind store. There's t-shirts, stickers, pins, a fully posable magnet of mead you can put on your fridge, dishwasher, or meth lab. Go to shop.secondwindgroup.com and check it out. Fully Ramblematic Volume 2 Blu-ray containing every 2025 episode is now available in our store. Check out the fully
Sometimes we're gonna put Eric in jail someday. Literal federal
Eric.
prison. The Clink.
Well, I'll just repeat all those clever gags I just said, shall I?
Uh-huh.
Hello, welcome to the Windbreakers podcast, and you can probably tell from my bronzed golden tan that I'm back from my summer holiday in Hawaii.
Aloha.
Marty,
means
Oh,
hello.
wow, you're glowing.
Goodbye.
Marty, you're about to ask me a very funny question.
I was gonna say, did it remind you of the hit video game Persona 5 or the hit video game Like a Dragon 8?
Well, I remembered in Persona 5 they mentioned people sticking their thumbs and fingers out, and there was a lot of that going on.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
But I spent the whole time in like the Disney resort, so I don't have a clue what actual Hawaiian life is like. I just know what it's like if it's carried out in adjacency to Mickey Mouse.
I'm sure that's what the rest of Hawaii is also like.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's just everywhere.
Mhm.
But speaking of things being the same, let's talk about time loops.
It feels like every morning of a vacation is kind of like a time loop because you wake up, you're in the same bed. I mean, you usually wake up in the same bed, I guess, but it just feels like you kind of get to retry the day over and over, which is something video games tend to do quite a bit.
Well, I was certainly in a fucking time loop at the Aulani resort because let me tell you, a week probably too long. Because you've been on all the pools, you've done the paddle boarding, you've done the character breakfast, you've done all of that by like Wednesday.
That's why
So
by
just-
Thursday you got to learn to start sneaking into people's rooms and stealing one thing out of their suitcase.
Yeah.
Not even
Yeah.
necessarily valuable, just something that'll drive them fucking nuts that they realize. They're like, where is that lotion? I know I brought it.
Well, is this coming back to time loop somehow? I'm not sure.
No, I thought we were just going to start talking about the crimes small crimes we've committed.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
all right. I stole the room
Peeping and
keys from the
stealing?
hotel.
Great.
More
Nice.
put in my pocket and forgot about. But
Now you can get back.
yeah.
you know,
Get back in whenever you want.
Yeah.
Anyway, I can fight the man. But yes, time loops. Time loops are a jolly interesting gameplay mechanic, which I want to say was brought to us by Majora's Mask, and which 20 years later became something of a trend in indie games, which became a short trend in sub AAA games like Deathloop and Returnal and the like. Do you think there was anything before Majora's Mask that you could call a time loop? Before you answer that,
Great
I
question.
mean, there's a sort of pedantic asshole response in that every game is sort of about a time loop if it's got a save function.
Sure. Yeah. Anyone could say that, a classic Zelda game might be like original Zelda could be a time loop game kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's always just going back to the start and trying again. Time loop is just a sort of formalized version of it.
Yeah, but they
where you
don't
have to-
know. The character doesn't know that it's happening.
Okay.
Right? Link is very aware of the fact that he's resetting time, and
All right, then even better.
it's in the narrative.
We should, in that case, we should specifically say we're talking about diegetic time loops.
yes,
that is
there
perfect.
you
Yeah,
go.
but there is something inherently. I think there's a reason video games. I think I would say even more so than movies or TV or anime or anything have really clung to the idea of time loops in recent years. There is something inherently gamey about the idea
Yes.
of a time loop.
Well, yes, very gamey about the concept of saving and loading as well.
Yeah.
I remember watching a couple of movies that made me think of video game save scumming. Have you ever seen Next, the Nicolas Cage film?
I have, yeah. Where he could see like a couple seconds into the future or whatever.
There's a sequence in that where he's using his ability to sort of explore an entire warehouse within a couple of seconds, which they represent by having like multiple versions of Nicolas Cage exploring the warehouse at the same time. And I remember thinking at the time, he's save scumming.
Yeah.
This is a cinematic depiction of save scumming.
Yeah.
Yeah, in an immersive sim. Yeah.
Yeah.
He does something similar later where like there's a bad guy shooting at him with a gun, and he just keeps resetting every time the gun doesn't miss. And again, it's represented by seeing multiple Nicolas Cages all die as the gun fires over and over again. And like, again, he's save scumming a gunfight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've seen it too, and he's like sniper up there, and like he just points at where they are and stuff.
Classic.
Yeah.
Crazy. That's so cool.
It feels to me like, I would also agree Majora's Mask was the first one. Certainly the first one I played, if not the first one, which is interesting because obviously, Jay, you just did your design delve on that.
Yes.
And the reason that mechanic got put into the game was because of a creative constraint of we need to have a Zelda game out relatively quickly using a lot of the same assets and tech of Ocarina of Time. And it feels like time loops, like the rogue genre, are one of those things that you could be very economical with with your assets and your time and your effort.
I just finished The Adventures of Elliot, the Millennium Tales on Steam, and that certainly seems like a game that was trying to get as much as it could out of a small amount of assets. Again, it's a time thing because that game's set over multiple time periods.
Yeah,
and each time period features the same map. Actually, very little changes from time period to time period, except like the city in the bottom corner of the map.
Yeah, where it'll be like fully built, or it'll be in rubble pre Revolutionary Age or whatever. So
yeah, and also I used it myself when I was making adventure games back in the early 2000s. I wanted to make adventure games, but I didn't have much resources available to me, not being a great artist. So I hit upon the idea of reusing the same bunch of rooms over like a 5-day time period where everything changes day. And that's how I got the idea for my first breakout hit, 5 Days a Stranger.
I like that. That's great.
That's fun. Yeah. Well, those constraints are the thing, right? That's how do you get these creative ideas? It's just like I can only do X, Y, and Z. What do I do with this? And then you have to think outside that box. And time loops is a common one that people dip their toes into.
It's the indie game sphere used it a lot before mainstream games latched onto it because indie games have less resources.
Yeah, it's because I listed a bunch of my favorite time loop games, and then I realized that they all kind of follow the same 4 steps, and maybe that's just time loops in general. Is you first experience the loop, and then you attempt to understand the loop, and then you attempt to master the loop, and finally you break the loop.
You have just described the plot of Groundhog Day.
I've just described the plot of Groundhog Day, but every loop game is that, right? Like, that just is the loop rules.
And it's very fitting because the thing about Groundhog Day is that it's sort of a fantasy, isn't it? I mean, we all have the fantasy of being able to have our time again. But now, having it again, knowing what we know now. And the Groundhog Day is that on a sort of micro scale where Bill Murray eventually realizes how he can turn things to his advantage and becomes basically a superhuman by the end of it because he's practiced everything 10,000 times. What the hell is that? That Eric's showing up right now.
This is the sequel video game to Groundhog's Day, apparently. It's a VR.
That can't be a real thing. Is it VR? Groundhog Day, like father, like son launch trailer, PSVR.
That
What the
can't
fuck?
be a Oh my god, that can't be a
6
thing.
years ago, apparently.
6
Well,
years ago,
yeah.
and
Let's
none
not-
of us working in games media. have
I mean,
ever heard
what if
of
it came
this
out
thing.
like the day COVID broke?
Yeah.
Was this officially licensed? Was this an official Groundhog Day license?
I mean, it seems like I highly doubt Bill Murray or any of them. I mean, maybe Sony has in like maybe
They
Sony
own it,
made
yeah.
the movie or whatever. Yeah.
They're like, shit, what do we own? What can we make games out of? Groundhog Day. Well, to be honest, a video game adaptation of Groundhog Day doesn't seem like a terrible idea.
Sure.
Well,
if it's done well.
It's basically gamifying when you'd play a game and then you decide you were done for the day. So you'd save the game and then you'd proceed to ruin everything. Like, you'd see what happens if you try to murder all the friendly NPCs.
Yeah.
Sure.
And set fire to the place, knowing that next time you play, you're just going to reload your last save. And all of that will be undone.
Yeah.
Rip.
You got to learn what to do and what not to do.
Absolute rip. But Jay, what did going through Majora's Mask recently for the first time? Did it kind of stand out to you at all in terms of its time loop stuff that it kind of impressed you for the time? Stuff that felt a little bit archaic, anything like that?
One of the things for me was how much time is a resource in that game, not just for when everyone's doing things, but you only have a certain amount of time to tackle everything you can. And I touched on it in the video that sense of fear and pressure is kind of ever present, even though in reality, when you use the time slow like halftime mechanic, you have 3 hours basically to do everything. You still have that sense of, oh shit, like, am I doing things fast enough? And part of that is because the first day as a Deku Scrub is 1.5 times faster than anything else in the game. So early on, they're instilling this fear of time into you. But then they give you the tools, right?
It's funny because it's simultaneously limited time and infinite time.
Yeah.
Because you know that even if you don't get everything done in one loop, there's always the next loop.
Yeah, you have no finite amount of loops you need to get through that.
Yeah.
That makes each one feel precious or anything like that.
Yeah, and I thought it was very interesting because I've played a time loop game before that is very well put together, which is Outer Wilds, which is unbelievably good. But they do something very interesting, which is every piece of everything you need in that game is a piece of information. It is not an object. It is not a thing. It is knowledge. And you are hunting in these planets for knowledge to then go to other planets on separate loops. So you can effectively just beeline it to the thing you need to do. But Majora is not like that. Majora is the complete opposite, which is it's basically everything is a physical item that you need to get past certain obstacles in a game that resets itself. And the thing in the episode I spoke about was the fact that, say within a quest that is, you have to get into like the Deku temple or like the Woodfall temple. Within that quest line, there are these breakpoints that are either based around knowledge or an item that you will retain on the reset of a loop. And these breakpoints are what allow you to, on the next run, skip to that point in the quest chain based on those things. So you could, even if you're really bad at the game and it takes you 3 hours to get to the monkey inside of the Deku King's palace, when you get it, you get the song to awaken the temple, and now you can effectively just skip to the opening of the temple on the next run.
Yeah, it's almost like creating a respawn point, like in Ori, laying down a
it's
respawn
exactly
point.
It's checkpoints, but it allows you to keep that fear of, am I doing things quick enough alive? Because if it was just a conventional checkpoint, there would be no fear of time whatsoever. You can just be like, I'll explore, I'll save scum, I'll go back. Now I can just do it again. But it gives them player controlled ones.
See, on the counterpoint, I sometimes find it's a little disappointing when a time loop game lets you keep physical stuff from loop to loop. I think this was the problem with Deathloop. Because Deathloop lets you keep stuff from loop to loop. The whole point of that is you're supposed to find a way to kill all the named characters in the game on the same day.
Yeah.
And it's all about figuring out the shortcuts to do that. But they let you keep like certain weapons from run to run. And I always thought it would be more interesting if you had to like create a schedule for yourself. for each day, where you had to figure out where to get the best gun
Agreed.
and how to proceed. Sort of like Dead Rising in a way. You have to figure out like the best, to figure out the environment and figure out the best place to get a gun to begin the process of mastering the loop.
Yeah, I liked
That's why
the way
I put the game down.
there was a game I really loved, a little indie game last year I loved, and Yahtzee, we did it for Yahtzee Tries at the beginning of the year, called Chrono Quartz.
Yes, I remember that.
And one of the things with that was you have a finite slot. You start with one, and I think you can get like 2 or 3 or whatever of things that carry over between the loops. And so that becomes part of the puzzle, is what do I take back with me in this scenario? What makes sense? Like, what do I need to bring back with me so that I can break this part of the loop by, having this item that I didn't have before, which I think is neat. It also, I think one thing I really like about this genre as a whole is its puzzles add the extra dimension of, like in classic Zelda games, a lot of times the puzzles are very kind of adventure game logic of get item and bring it to person, but now you have to factor in the dimension of time, is get item,
Schedules.
but person has a schedule, and by day 3, person might be lobotomized by aliens, and so I need to get to them before that to help them at the ranch, or knowing, in order to start this thing with the soon-to-be wed couple, Cafe and Anju, I can meet her because she's going to the hotel at X time, that kind of thing. So it kind of broadens, in my opinion, your relationship with a place and characters by learning those time-based things about them.
Yeah, I think the bigger the game gets, the more you have to have like checkpoints, I suppose. Which is why I think the time loop format benefits from a small environment. 12 minutes would probably have been better.
Sure.
If it weren't for the ending.
Yeah. But again, those, that does feed into the idea of time loops are about kind of depth instead of breadth. And even how we talked about Outer Wilds a little while ago, of how it feels what it is just a few small places with that added depth of they transform over the course of the 22 minutes or whatever.
Yeah. But like on the topic of the NPC schedules and the size of the game, I did find in Majora's Mask, and this isn't necessarily a complaint, more just an observation, to have that level of scale and I think if you count all of the ones that can be tracked within the notebook, there's like 25 NPCs or like 22, and then in the DS version they added loads more. There's so much to track and there's so much to go over that a lot of the solutions for use specific item or wear specific mask with this NPC, a lot of them are very simple in terms of like, I want to get into the milk bar, right? So I should go to the sisters at the ranch who milk cows, right? And there was never this moment in Majora's Mask where I was like, oh wow, that's a creative solution that I didn't see coming, because I feel like that would be extremely frustrating if you're constantly trying to look for a solution, doing loops and loops and loops and loops, and it was just this adventure game logic, obscure, like moon logic thing.
Sure, the designer got
so they have to be
a fight
simplified
with his
down,
wife
right?
today, so that's why the answer to the puzzle is X.
Yeah. And like one of the negatives I found with Majora, and I'm glad a lot of games don't do this, and I can't remember Outer Wilds doing this, is the idea of like, because it's on a schedule and everything's based on time, if you know what you're doing, you have to wait for something to happen, and just standing there, that can be extremely frustrating. There were many times in Majora's Mask where I was just stood outside of a shop waiting for it to open, or the milk bar, or whatever, or a specific transition or schedule. And one of the arguments is, well, that allows you to smell the flowers and go do other things, but I know this is what I want to do right now, so just let me be there.
Man, even Text Adventures had a wait function.
Yeah, to be able to move forward. Every game should be like Phantom Pain, where you can have your character smoke a cigarette and then the sun will just like move in the sky, and then you can go forward like 5 hours as you smoke cigarettes.
Funny. Deadly Premonition did the exact same thing. You have your character just smoke for a while.
Yeah, and just lose track of the time. Yeah, that is funny, Jay. They sanded off a lot of those edges in the 3DS
In
remake,
Majora's,
which I'm
right?
sure a bunch of people, the 3DS one, which I'm sure a bunch of people were telling you about. But yeah, and I imagine that came from, another 12, 15 years of development history under everyone's belt to realize, like, oh, this is because it did kind of feel like Majora's Mask was in uncharted waters a lot in terms of
course,
the interactive time loop thing. So how do you guys feel? The other, you mentioned Deathloop, but how do you feel about the other? I think the other big AAA time loop games being Returnal and Saros. Do you think those games handled their loops very much, married them with the idea of kind of like classic arcade action, where like, runs
procedural generation
like
in Returnal's
and runs feel
case.
like a quarter in an arcade game, kind of. But yeah, how did you feel about those?
I had trouble latching onto the stories of those games. Because their stories were usually kind of overwritten and yet sort of understated at the same time.
Yeah, and it kind of became a thing for Returnal and Saros, but I think this is a little bit worse than Saros, is the idea of these characters not really understanding why they're in a loop, and the objective is to understand why they themselves, the character, are in a loop, rather than solving problems as the loop being a tool. It's just, I'm in a loop, right?
Well, Returnal is diegetically in a time loop. Saros is more of a roguelite situation where the time's always passing. It's just you come back to life at the home base when you die.
Yeah.
Could you say,
I guess that is true. Those are like different flavors.
Yeah. So, roguelites where you die and come back, but time's always passing, is sort of time loop adjacent, but not really. Like Hades, time's always passing, but you're still in very much what you might call a loop.
Yeah. I just want things. I want the time mechanic to affect the world in a way that is interesting, right? And things to happen.
I liked how the Forgotten City did it. Where
how'd they do it?
Sure.
Most of that game is dialogue based, and basically everything you learn, you can basically bring up in dialogue in future loops.
Cool.
And by the end of it, you start the loop, and the guy who greets you at the start of the loop says hello, and you cut him off and say, "Go to this guy and do da 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 da. Go to this guy and do da 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 da. Go to this guy and do da 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 da," and then come back.
That's fun.
Yeah, that's like the Bill Murray, like finally learning how to break his loop in Groundhog Day. Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, I like that.
Another as I noted, just time loop games I've played and enjoyed. Another genre that leans heavily into them. There's a lot of them that are visual novels or visual novel heavy in their portrayals. Stuff like Steins Gate, Zero Escape, Gnosia from a few years ago, which was interesting because you keep looping back onto this ship that's going through like interstellar travel, but every time you wake up, it's the same group of characters, but you have to deal with the fact that there is like an invasive species on board that has taken the form of one of the crewmates, but every loop it's a different crewmate. So it's almost like a game of like Werewolf or Mafia. But every loop it's different, and it could be this character, it could be you, it might be someone else. Which I think is a neat way to do it. And then a game which possibly we'll be covering more in the future, Slay the Princess also deals with it.
Slay the Princess is very Stanley Parable-y in execution.
Yeah, which is Stanley Parable to you a loop, or is it more of like this game is just a shit ton of branches, and the whole point of the game is to explore each branch to their end, and then go back to the beginning and do another branch?
Yeah, I think of it less as a time loop and more as a game that's very knowingly repeating itself and sort of deconstructing the concept of saving and reloading.
Mm-hmm.
Just every mechanic it possibly has, it explores to its extent, and how we as gamers engage with that. That game's very clever. That makes Slay the Princess, you saying it is similar to that in ways, makes me very attracted to playing that. I haven't played it yet.
Ooh, Jay and Slay the Princess sitting in a tree. PLAYING.
I also absolutely love Magnus Archives, and I believe the creator is the narrator of. Is that right?
The creator is the narrator.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, Jonathan Simmons.
I don't know. What are the
Man,
Magnus Archives?
it's a
Is that
real
game?
Zalavia
Magnus
Nelson
Archives
situation.
is a podcast. Well, not a podcast.
Oh,
It's like a what would you describe?
Oh, is that like
it
a
as?
narrative thing, like Welcome to the Night Vale, kind of?
An audio drama.
Yeah,
like
okay,
it's it's amazing. I'd recommend anyone and everyone if you enjoy horror. I would go listen to Magnus Archives.
I love how the world of podcasting has basically had to relearn what BBC Radio 4 has been doing since the 60s.
Sure.
Yeah.
You have to relearn Orson Welles scaring people that there's an alien invasion
You have
coming for War of the Worlds.
we've relearned radio chat shows, we've relearned audio dramas.
Yeah. Like try to explain podcasts to like older people and like it's just talk radio. It's just it's literally just talk radio. I also liked Minute. Did you guys ever play Minute?
I did play I did play Minute, yes.
Yeah,
I've also played the Sexy Brutale, which is a lesser known early time loop game, which is about trying to prevent the deaths of a bunch of people in a sort of Agatha Christie setting.
Yeah. I like that time loops can feel like they can often be subgenres to something else, or like an accompaniment, a side dish to something else. Like Minute kind of deconstructs the Zelda-like using that time loop. Sexy Brutal kind of like the whodunit murder mystery. There was In Stars and Time, which is kind of a time loop JRPG where you start with your party going into the final dungeon, and you kind of keep having to loop back to the beginning of the final dungeon, which is a really interesting mechanic. So
there's another time loop game that's set in the play Hamlet. I forget what it's called.
Elsinore?
Elsinore, that's the one.
Yeah, I remember that.
I knew it was named after the castle Hamlet set in, but I forgot what the name. I haven't played it, but sounds interesting.
Hell yeah. There was also I can't remember. There's an upcoming indie time loop game that's like a comedy, which is, it almost looked like it's like the sensibilities. What was the one super British indie game that came out like a year or two ago?
Thank goodness you're here.
Thank goodness you're here. Yeah. It looks a little bit like that in terms of like it is a small town with that kind of vibe to it, but you keep time looping at the beginning of the day, and it's like you're kind of getting yourself into all sorts of like silly pratfalls and whatnot. Whereas it feels like a lot of the a lot of times a time loop is like a traumatic event, right? It like isn't necessarily a comedic thing, which is funny because a lot of times the text of that is Groundhog Day.
I think games should embrace the Groundhog Day thing, where every now and again you can just take a loop to just piss about. I think this always happens. Like the Groundhog Day plot occurs in the TV shows. I remember it happening in the X-Files. I remember it happening in Stargate SG-1 at one point.
Yeah.
I remember clearly from the SG-1 episode is that at one point the characters just get frustrated and decide just to take a loop off and piss about.
Sure.
Hit golf balls into the Stargate.
Yeah.
So that actually makes me think, because as we've seen with those shows, it is a very easy kind of one and done fun episode you can do, because there is a singular goal that a character has, and within a loop they explore multiple different branching paths, encounter hijinks that are not the answer, and then eventually they get to it, right? It's very self-contained and easy to watch. It's good TV.
Makes a good inexpensive bottle episode as well.
Exactly. But in games, when the player themselves is responsible for exploring those branches, restarting and redoing those stretches. In a TV show, you can skip out. You can skip the middleman, the walking from A to B. You can get rid of that and just cut to them doing a new thing. Or you can show it in like a quick montage situation. In games, it's much harder to do that, because the player has the control. So there's lots of aspects of, like we were talking about, waiting and stuff like that, and traversal that you've already done before, that is not entertaining at all and becomes a chore, whereas in TV shows they can just completely get rid of that. So I think that might be one of the reasons why a lot of games haven't tried to do it, because
what if you had
there's lots of it that's not fun.
What if you had a game like GTA or Persona that's got like mini games like the batting cages or bowling or golf or something, and you could create a setup where there's nothing you can do to progress in this specific loop, so you might as well piss about and play the mini games. Has any game done that?
Not that I can think of, but also like it could be a thing of like when you reset the loop, the game could ask you where do you want to go, and like if you know there's an area you would like to immediately go to, you can just go there. I mean, I guess in Majora you can fast travel instantaneously as soon as you load in, right? So that's what. That is.
And like that Chrono Quartz game we were talking about, you kind of set your own checkpoint. Because its whole loop is that you can only move 10 screens. And once you move 10 screens, you will die. And it's kind of like Zelda-esque screens. But you could choose where your spawn point is as you progress through the game. So
Interesting.
Yeah.
What if we made a time loop game out of The Ring, where you watch the cursed videotape? It's like, in 7 days, you will die.
You have 7 days.
Oh, yeah.
That could be fun. Yeah.
There were The Ring video games. I think there was one on the Wii, and it sucked.
Really?
Yeah. You're thinking of Ring Fit Adventure, which is not about the ring.
No, that's not that's not the one at all.
There was definitely a Ring game for the Dreamcast that I played a little bit of that was very bad.
Marty, I'm just gonna. That was Goof of the Week.
We're too early in the week for Goof of the Week.
We're in the week.
Strong contender. Okay, early contender for Goof of the Week.
Yeah.
Sorry,
go ahead.
I was going to say, shall we get to Super Chats? So if you got one last point.
No, just the last thing. I might have brought this up when I was watching it last year, but we're in a time loop, so it doesn't matter. There was an anime I watched last year called The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya. That's like a slice of life high school anime, but about a kind of a bratty high school girl and her friends. But that bratty high school girl is unknowingly the god of the universe, and so like her mood causes things to happen, and she doesn't realize it.
That just seems like they've like lampshaded what's basically standard in that sort of TV show.
Where the main character does pretty much have the power to rewrite reality. But her whole in the second season, there's an episode where they have this like amazing like summer day where they get to do all this different stuff, and she still kind of feels this sense of ennui at the end of the light, and it's like the last day of summer, and they have a great time and everything, and so she either knowingly or unknowingly puts them in a time loop that lasts 8 episodes. And each of the 8 episodes is the exact same episode, but it is animated slightly differently. So it is not reusing, but it is the same events, almost verbatim, but all animated differently 8 times in a row. And it's called The Endless 8. And when people were first watching it, like the next week an episode would come out and they're like, oh, that's pretty clever. It did it a 3rd time, a 4th time. And by the 2nd month of this, they were like, what the fuck are they doing? And it's like a thing that is an amazing artistic like statement, but like a genuinely baffling decision to do.
Once you get past 2 episodes of that, it's genius. It's just genius.
I went through a loop and I started to hate it, and then by the end of it, I'm like, no, this is actually genius. Well done, everybody.
This is great.
Like when
does anything change?
It's like I was thinking. Makes me think of that old Calvin and Hobbes comic where Bill Watterson was talking shit about other newspaper comic strips, where he was talking about how every panel is Xeroxed, but it's the two characters, Calvin and Hobbes, talking about it with the same image for all 3 frames, complaining about how too many comic strips are just Xeroxed these days. Yeah. But he redrew each frame. He redrew each frame from scratch. You can tell.
I love that.
Amazing.
Yeah, that is true insanity.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
all right. Let's super chat it up.
Let's chat it up.
Oh, by the way, you might have noticed there's a new goal at the top of the screen. Now that we've achieved our goal for the Stardew Valley Bingo, our next goal is finally Marty and I, having indulged Jack's whims and been as contestants on his little quiz shows he likes to do. We've determined that Marty and I are probably the 2 biggest rivals in terms of Second Wind staff members, with lots of video game trivia quickly to hand in our minds. So we're going to see who is the most tiresome video game trivia knowing pedant between the 2 of us.
Do you think he'll send us his buttons? He's got a lot of them.
Oh, he does love his buttons, doesn't he?
He will not part with his buttons.
Yeah.
Now I'd probably have to be on Zoom or something. So we'll have to figure out how that works. But Jack seems confident that he knows how that can work.
He does. I believe in Jack.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to trouncing Marty in that once we've gotten the...
God.
Once we got.
Listen, I've been playing Fallout 3. I'm getting outside my comfort zone.
Oh, look at you.
Look at
Mr. Thinks Fallout 3 is a retro game.
It technically is if it's over 15 years.
Ha.
Is that the cutoff?
Ha.
I think. Do you have a year amount for when a game comes retro?
for my mind, it's only retro if it at one point came in some kind of physical media with which you could potentially kill someone.
So GTA 6 cannot because it's just a piece of paper inside of a box.
Exactly.
I think 2 console generations, I'd say you're moving into retro.
It was a 360 game. That was forever ago.
360 is retro for sure.
It's not retro unless the resolution can be counted on 2 hands.
I like that. I like that.
So we've moved past anything ever being able to be considered
just
retro
after
ever
8-bit.
again.
Yeah. Anything after Game & Watch.
The HD
Anyway,
era.
Amuleto Della Oso gives $5. Says, alas, such lugubrious torment, to wait on the word of Croshaw, the heart of Sleever, the wisdom of Jamate. Soon shall our sorrow end. Amuleta, were you hired by Jonathan Blow to write the dialogue for his most recent indie game?
Are you a member of the Order of the Sinking Sun?
Because that was my first thought.
Yeah. I hope, like the Adventures of Elliot, there's a button to where you could just turn the amount they talk down to reticent, which is the term in the Adventures of Elliot to have your companion talk far less.
Oh man, I fucking wish I'd noticed that setting.
Yeah, reticent. They are now reticent to talk.
There's been games where I've really enjoyed it mechanically, but the main character quips so much that I've turned it off. Like there should always be like a quipometer that you can turn down.
The thing, well, not getting too deep into Adventures of Elliot, but every review I read was like the companion character is extremely annoying, and you have a companion character for the first 2 hours of the game, and I'm like, she seems fine, and then you get the game's actual companion character, and I'm like, okay, gotcha.
Oh,
the game
has
I understand.
The game has an unusually long prologue.
Yeah, and the companion character you get is a very high-pitched fairy.
It's a surprisingly long game because you might have played the prologue demo. It's like 5 hours long. I finished the game. The hours count on my final save was like 70.
You said there's multiple endings, right, or something like that?
Yeah, I'll go over this in my review more in more detail. But yeah, you get one ending, then it's like, oh, that was the bad ending. You forgot to do this, this, and this. We didn't tell you about, and then they do that like 5 times.
Oh, fuck off.
But anyway, Ryan Rahaman 5246. Welcome to the value tier.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Hey, you know what you can do if you're in the value tier of the Patreon? Vote for the Summer Game Drought game. Polls are still open.
They're open until your next Fully Ramblemanic on Wednesday morning. So they're open until 11 a.m. Central on Wednesday morning.
And it looks like there's so far one particular game has emerged a winner after other games were on top at various times through the week. It's turned into a 3-horse race, really.
Oh,
Final Fantasy 9 fans, you gotta get your shit in gear. VV needs you.
Yeah, like Danganronpa and Factorio were fighting it out for a while, but Slay the Princess had just sort of like swept in from the back foot, and now Slay the Princess is winning.
I think I'm going to play that.
Third-party spoiler.
Hey, if Final Fantasy 9 wins, you could get a double bill of Fully Ramblo and a Design Delve on.
That's like Final Fantasy 18.
I know.
Oh goodness, I'm going to go out on a limb and say Final Fantasy 9 probably isn't going to win at this point. But hey,
Rayman might. Everybody loves Rayman.
Which one? Origins?
No, Rayman is dead fucking last. Unless everyone changes their votes in the next 3 days, then I don't think
it's time to
Rayman's
start buying people off.
They already do that, don't you know? Haven't you gotten your Ubisoft pay packet?
I'm waiting. Mine's in the mail.
It's locked behind Ubisoft Connect, and I don't know how to log into that.
You've got millions of dollars and
millions of dollars. I do not remember that password.
Man, I got my payoff packet for saying nice things about Mixtape.
Ooh.
Yeah. Them's the big bucks. Yeah.
Yeah. That everyone in the comments assumed I'd been given for some reason. Anyway. Raven give their weekly word of the week, week 57, verbosity, i.e. see today's first comment.
I've obviously know verbose. I've never heard it modified as verbosity, but I guess it makes sense.
Yeah, I suppose verbose and verbosity both equally work as adjectives, so verbosity is kind of pointless.
Yeah.
But yeah,
unless you have several verbose people and they need to live in a verbose city.
Yeah, it means having a wide vocabulary, like going on a bit. I always remember. I remember in the old Infocom text adventures, they'd only show you like the room description once, unless you specifically typed the word verbose, and then it would set the game into verbosity mode.
Oh no!
Where every time you entered a room, it would show you the whole room description, which I preferred personally.
The opposite of
I want
medicine.
a detective game called Verbo City that's just every room and every character is
good.
just constantly going into shit.
Oh.
That's you, Marty. You came up
No,
with that.
that's where
such a great
my game
idea.
design ends at coming up with a title.
Someone
I don't know anything past that.
Someone must have done that. Someone must
I'm
have
sure.
used that somewhere. Anyway, El Ramper gives $2 and says, "This podcast is my favorite part of Marty Monday."
What are the other favorite
Yeah.
parts of Marty Monday? Because it's the only stream I'm on Mondays.
Peeping through your windows, dude.
Beeping. I'm going to see Supergirl later. That's a big part of Marty Monday.
Ooh,
Yeah, she flies. I bet.
do you think?
Probably. She's gotta. It'd be weird if she didn't.
She's probably going to quip once or twice, I reckon.
No, get the fuck out of here. I don't believe.
Needle drops left, right, and center.
Don't believe.
So-
I already got spoiled on one of the needle drops, and it's very dumb.
Superman didn't originally fly, you know.
He jumped. He leapt tall
Just jumped.
buildings in a single bound. Very weird.
he-
A jumping
he
Superman
leapt-
makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah,
Because I imagine him landing and almost killing loads of people as he's just going woof, 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 woof.
or
Yeah.
at least like causing some serious damage to the pavement.
Mhm.
Yeah. Great.
Anyway, El Ramper sent 1 second wind gift memberships. Hooray!
Ramper.
Thanks very
Whoever
much.
got that, congrats.
And then Helicon 1, member for 31 months in tip jar. Thank you very much again.
31.
Yeah, that's a lot
Incredible.
of months. That's
In-
almost 32 months.
Incredible.
Minduel gives $2 and says, Outer World Wild has an amazing in-game explanation. You know there's a backspace key on your keyboard, right? So if you accidentally typed world before wild, you could have deleted the world
You
part.
don't know that, Yachts. It might be broken.
Yeah, maybe it's broken.
You ableist?
Oh, sorry.
I don't know if that's ableist.
Keyboard ableist. My keyboard is not able to press backspace.
Cain ableist.
And the
Cane
delete key
enabler.
doesn't work either. You couldn't have
no.
just like you couldn't have just like copy pasted a space or something.
Copy paste the space.
Incredibly silly.
Anyway, yes, I assume it did. Let's not spoil it. I never actually finished the game. Maybe
Oh,
I'll come
so
back to
good.
it. Fusionator, member for 31 months in the Green Gang, says, honestly just hoping to hear you roast Deathloop. For that Deathloop, what a not particularly optimally designed game that was.
That is the perfect COVID era game of the year, where it was just kind of like fucking whatever. I guess
That one game of the year?
by a bunch of outlets. I don't know if it was like the Keeley game of the year, but I think like IGN named it game of the year.
It wasn't a great year.
No, it was.
True.
I think it was 21. So it was. Yeah, I mean,
Oh, okay, fair.
yeah.
Murasaki848 gives $5 and says, it's just a jump to the left and then a step to the right. That's the time warp. That's not the same thing.
Let's do the time warp. Yeah. Yeah, that's a different.
Yes.
That's a whole different song. Yeah. Also, for some reason, I had a $5 dono from El Rampa that disappeared from the board, but it was before this, and it was this episode is a great reminder why I love Windbreaker / Second Wind. Love the discussions about gaming rather than just games. Oh, thank you.
Hell yeah.
Well,
Thank you, Alrumba.
don't know why you felt the need to delete that. Perhaps you were embarrassed by your effusive praise. as
No,
many would
never.
be.
Not our sweet El Rampa.
But thank you for the sentiment.
Mhm.
And then El Rampa comes back with $10 and says,
Get
Loop
out.
Hero is a cool roguelike stroke, auto battler stroke, city builder stroke, card game stroke, RPG, and the story revolves around the characters in the roguelike trying to stop the world from being restarted. Yes,
Mhm.
I played that one. It's a Devolver
Me too.
Digital published game.
Yeah, I don't think it's not a loop though.
It's not a time loop, it's more roguelike. as the-
Yeah,
as the
but you're
thing
doing a
is.
literal loop. It's a literal loop because you're
Yeah,
making a loop.
you go around in a circuit
Yeah,
and stuff happens.
yeah, that's a fun game.
El Rampa gives $2 again and says, Time Loop is a roguelite, not like. I'm so sorry. And then
no.
gives another $2
Oh,
and says,
no.
Loop Hero, not Time Loop. OMG, it's been a long day.
Oh my god, you're stuck in a time loop. You're stuck
Hey.
in your own super chat time loop.
Don't overthink things, El
No.
Rampa.
Apparently,
We-
Loop Hero
I
is
don't-
$3 on Steam right now during the Steam sale.
Well, it's a very,
Fun.
very cheap looking game.
Yeah, Jay, did
I
you
mean
buy
that in
anything
the
for
nicest
this year
possible sense.
for the Steam sale?
Oh my god, Marty, I fucking knew you were going to raise this.
Hey, I know
Yes,
something
I
you could
did.
buy out during the Steam sale.
me.
Starstruck Vagabond, which has
Incredible.
been, and since I dropped the price to $20 when the console version came out, it's now the cheapest it's ever been at $10.
It is It is $9.99 American US
Yes.
dollars.
Highly recommend
$10.
picking it up.
Now's the time to get it.
Buy
People,
this.
lowest it's ever been.
Incredible.
Marty, yes, I did pick up things, and you're raising this because this morning I woke up and there was a Google Alerts meeting with Marty and Jack that said, what did it say? I had to play.
It said Jay needs to play Cult of the Lamb, Evil West, Citizen Sleeper, Mouthwashing, and Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Because I bought them
played all of those.
And I think one of you said you're never going to play all of those because you bought them in a sale, and I was like, I fucking will. So we set a year-long alarm.
Yeah,
and
so this
I
must
regret
have
to
been
inform you
when
all.
Yahtzee was on vacation last summer. Jack joined the show, and Jay bought these games live on air.
Yeah, and I regret to inform you, I've only played 3 of them. But this time I bought Talos Principle 2, Riven, Librarian, Tidy Up the Arcane Library, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and the Payne's Creek Killings. Ooh,
those first couple. You got Mist Fever from playing Mist?
I do have Mist Fever, yeah. And also I was looking for puzzle games, and Yachts recommends Talos Principle 2. So
yeah, I do. It's one of my favorite games from that year.
That's why I got
it. Very. You might like it if you do like Mist style games.
I love Mist.
That have actual puzzles rather than just, hey, find the date from this part of the world, take it to a machine in the other part of the world, put in the numbers, and win. Which is how a lot of Mist puzzles seem to work.
Inside of a minecart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fusionator gives $5 and says, I think one way video games make time loops work where movies can't is video games can make living in a loop a huge pain in the ass for the player. I think there have been movies that have made time loops work. One specific movie springs to mind. I don't think I'll say it again because we all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. No, there's been, I think there's been quite a few. There was The Edge of Tomorrow, the Tom Cruise one.
That's a good one. That's a great one.
Based on a manga.
What was that one that had Andy Samberg in it?
Palm Springs. I love that movie. That was more of a comedy set during a time loop.
Is
Run Logan Run,
Memento
one of the big
time kind of like that's like Amnesia.
No, that's time. It's Amnesia, and it is told backwards in chunks.
Happy Death Day. Happy Death Day
in terms of slashers. Yeah, the TV show, the miniseries Russian Doll.
Etc. Etc. As we say, it's a fun way to do a bottle episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Lap343 gives $5 and then just gives a green heart emoji.
Thank you. Happy Green Day.
But why a green heart?
Does that have connotations we don't know?
Kermit has passed away.
Well, he
not
passed
the
away
big
a while
K.
Back.
Yeah, the big K. I think that might be Kmart in the US technically, but yeah.
Oh, sorry, Kermit. Not little K.
Not little K.
Captain Fabulous gives $5 Australian. Says it was dumb how Deathloop, a time loop game, made its upgrades about retaining physical items instead of learning and remembering skills, stroke abilities. Yes, that's what I said.
Yeah.
That game lost all of its interest for me once I figured that out. I closed the game. I was like, well, as Yachts described, the idea of I need to set a schedule for myself to go here, 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 kill this person, then navigate in this direction to do X, Y, and Z. That seemed like the fun thing to me, and a huge chunk of that got removed from the retaining.
Yeah,
and it's just like, okay, whatever.
I mean, that was the fun of Teardown, where the objective of the mission was to set a schedule for yourself so that you could execute it as fast as possible. And then have many times as you want to practice.
Side note, I like that I like when you verbalize a slash as stroke, because you ended that sentence with strokeability, and I thought that was funny.
Strokeability.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yes, that's how I judge my socks.
Oh,
God damn it! Do they have a high strokeability index?
How much cotton does it have in it?
Anyway. Also, Toffee has a high strokeability index because I like to stroke him. In fact, that's what I'm doing with my hand that's currently off screen. I am stroking my dog.
It, though. It's theater of the mind.
Yeah. I ain't gonna bring him over. He's asleep. I ain't disturbing him. Oh, but he's just rolled over to expose his tummy in his sleep because I've been stroking him.
I'll get Ludo just for the dog pics.
It is assuredly very, very cute, and it's a shame you're missing it.
Pets.
Anyway, Mopman43 gives $4.99 and says, Stuck in Time I had fun with. more of an incremental game where you slowly get better at the loop and optimize it as you explore more of the game. Well, that sounds like a time loop game.
I haven't heard of
Hell yeah.
Stuck in
Pretty
Time.
straight to me.
Visually looks very much like Loop Hero.
Hmm.
No.
Hmm.
What time?
Diane Spencer gives £50. Man,
Diane.
that's a large
Diane.
amount of pounds.
Yeah.
And says, "Have my money, you lovely people. We will take your
Thank
money.
you,
Thank you
Diane.
very much, you lovely person." Straight back.
Thanks, Diane.
Hope you're having a great day.
And remember, we've
That's
also set
nice.
up. Oh, Yahtzee, did you hear the big news? We've set up a way to know when Ko-Fi donos come through. So if anyone wants to donate on Ko-Fi, we also have the ability to read them almost instantly, as opposed to needing to wait 20 minutes and then often forgetting about them.
Fuck a doodle do.
Fuck a
As they
doodle
say.
do. They say it.
Not a doodle.
John Rayhag is $5. Says, "So when does a time loop become more than a restart with benefits? When it's diegetically acknowledged in the plot." I think we
Yeah.
established that.
Does it have to only be acknowledged by one person? If everyone knows they're in
Yeah.
a time loop, is it a time loop or is it a something else?
Yeah, it's a
Well, if
time loop.
everyone
but
knows. Well, if
yeah.
I was just, it's funny. I was considering this hypothetical the other day. What if it was a Groundhog Day situation, but everyone in the world was aware of it? How would that change things? It wouldn't
Chaos.
change much.
Yeah, but it would.
Well, I think it would actually, because what it did for the first, there's like stages, right? There's panic of being like, what the fuck is happening? Then there's indulgence, where people are indulging in being, either really horrible or doing everything they want because they know there's no repercussions. And then there's trying to get out. All of those stages, I think, if you expand them over the all of humanity, people are going to be murdering, like doing whatever they want all over the place. Everything would just collapse. I think it'd be horrible. Who's going to go to work? Who's going to turn the electricity on and keep everything running if you know none of it matters?
Yeah.
Well, maybe one thing could be saved. Like at the end of the day, Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You said
we're
at the
waiting
end of
for
the
you to
day,
say
and you
the
stop
thing.
talking.
No, sorry, everything just froze on me. For a
Oh,
second
no.
there.
We were just
okay.
waiting for you.
Sorry, yeah. What if at the end of the day, humanity got to save like one artwork to preserve at the end of the loop?
One creation of the day gets preserved. I kind of like
And
that.
again, everything's gone quiet and frozen on me.
Oh,
Hang on.
can
I
you
need to-
not- You've been fine with us the whole time.
Yeah, you're fine on our end.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to leave the call and come back. Something's weird's going fucky on my end.
Now
He's
that,
in a time loop.
now that Yahtzee's gone, I found the name of the game I was talking about. Time loop game, and it is called Hello Again. It had a demo during Next Fest, and let me tell you, forgot to play it. Sounds like the demo's still there though, so that's good.
Big ups the demo.
What if we could restart last week and be at the beginning of Steam Next Fest again? How amazing!
We
Oh,
can just
no.
do that.
I'd have to be in the Aulani Resort again for the entire
Oh no,
week.
you're already back.
Oh, boo! I've got to go back to
He
Hawaii.
got tired
Fuck
of it. He got tired of
no.
it. I get it.
I mean, there's only 2 water slides.
Yeah.
And you do one, then the other, then what? So I go swim past the reef and get killed.
And to show that I wasn't lying, a Ko-Fi dono just came in from Incarnadine, and we're able to read it since Marty brought it up. ...
Hey, God, Big ups to
Hey,
God.
thanks very much. Minduel gives $2 and says, "Is Undertale technically time loopy? Save? I think it's more sort of entire playthrough loop than Undertale.
Sure.
Because in that game, like every playthrough of the game is like in canon, diegetically, and
Okay.
the characters
Is
are
there-
aware of it.
Does the order you do them in impact things, or?
Well, actually, yes. If you at any point get the genocide ending, then all future happy endings will have like a little moment where your character just looks evilly to camera for a second to imply
That's
that
funny. You
the
know what you've
evil
done
might
before.
return. Yes,
Yeah.
we know what you did.
If you've done it once, you can do it
Really
again.
cool. I've only played it once and did the genocide ending, so that's really fascinating.
So that's your canonical playthrough of Undertale. Is you're just a mass murderer.
I spoke about this
guess.
on my stream on the weekend. Playing that game, one of my best mates was moving country, and I'd sold all my stuff because I was moving out of my house, and he made me sit in the middle of the living room on a kitchen chair and basically strapped me down to play it all before he moved away. So it was like torture. And he was like, "You've got to do the genocide run." So I killed it. It was horrible. Great game, though.
Lovely.
I like it.
Gay Bear Mountain gives $20. Says, here's an apology for that visual spam I put in the chat window. Oh, I didn't notice.
We accept your
Thanks for
apology.
the money.
You don't need to apologize for anything, and we accept the apology.
Happy Pride.
King Dead 42 gives $5. Says, tell Marty about the Star Trek TNG episode Cause and Effect, where Frasier blows up the Enterprise to stick them in a time loop a year before.
Frasier Crane?
Yeah, well, the actor who plays Frasier Crane, Kelsey Grammer,
Not
appears.
Frasier.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about that because I was when I was talking about Stargate and X-Files and all of that, I remember thinking, did Star Trek ever do time loops? And then I remembered, yes, they did in that memorable episode with Frasier Crane in it.
Interesting. And apparently a year before Groundhog Day.
Wow. Star Trek did it was like the original Simpsons did it.
That.
Sci-fi. The Onyx Spy, member for 31 months in the Green Gang, says, any game is a time loop when you don't / can't save. Yes. Unless, only if it's diegetically acknowledged in the plot.
Yeah. Did you guys ever do that when you were a kid? My version of the Toy Story game on PS1, my memory card was broken, so I just used to play it over and over.
No, you're a freak.
No, I had earlier. Yeah, A, you are a freak. B, I was the exact same. I had my first PS1 memory card broke because it was like a third-party memory card, and so for a while I was just like raw dogging these games.
Started gaming in like the Commodore 64 era, where everything had to be played in one session.
Gross.
I know.
I didn't like that.
Tell us more, Grandad.
I didn't like.
And also, you used to be able to ask a policeman for the time of day without him trying
and he
to
wouldn't shoot you.
Yeah. What a time to be alive.
King and Commoner gives $5 says, do not give Endless 8 too much credit. They wanted to turn the second half of the season into a movie, so they stretched it out.
I thought it was great. Also, the disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya that they turned into a movie was amazing. I'm sure in the moment it was frustrating as hell. Watching it 20 years removed, big thumbs up.
Yeah, thanks.
How long are those episodes?
They don't fall down.
Full episodes, like 20, 22 minutes.
Wow.
It's like a full movie of the same thing over and over.
Yeah, thanks, William Tell. Yeah, thanks,
Was that William Tell?
Yes, I'm trying to think of weeb puns.
William Tell.
Yeah, thanks, Maguire. I don't know.
He's trying.
Is that Jerry Maguire?
No, that was never mind. Witticism gives $5 and says, I get tired of time loop games as soon as I'm stuck with a list of chores I have to complete each run before I can progress. Any games that avoid this?
Majora's Mask.
Stuck with a list of chores I have to complete before
that's
the progress. Yeah.
I mean, isn't that the time loop? You have to figure out what you're supposed to do across the course of the time loop?
Yeah. Majonki Mask does it, but as I said, it has those breakpoints within its quest chains so you can spend an entire loop doing one thing and then effectively skip to that part based on information you have or an item. So it has the best of both worlds. I'm not sure why more games don't do that. But
maybe try Minute. I like Minute is incredibly bite-sized. MINIT. And if you like Zelda games, that might be one to try because that's one that I don't think you can get too frustrated in just because you die every 60 seconds. So.
Right you are. El Rampa gives $2 and says, the modern forces let you rewind time. It's neat. Hey,
like that. Every game
Prince of Persia's Sands of Time did it first.
You can pretend that that the prince is in Japan driving that car. And that's the only reason why he can rewind.
Okay, I will do that.
Nick's been playing those games. I don't know how he's been. I haven't checked out any streams. I don't know if he's been pro or con.
I love those games.
Sands of Time.
The Dirty Deeds gives $30. Says, I don't want to disrupt the loop, but I wanted to ask if anyone has heard of the game Dead as Disco. It's a game in early access. Imagine Arkham Asylum meets Hi-Fi Rush. Sorry again, enjoy the dosh. I'm aware of it. I will play it when the full version is out. I am not an early access man.
Yeah, I think I saw, apart from when you are, I think I saw Deebs playing that at one point. I've heard good things.
Yeah, it's rhythm combat, much like Hi-Fi Rush, but with a more sort of No More Heroes-y sort of vibe.
Yeah, that's a good comp. Yeah, I know a couple of us are interested in it, but also there's too many. A lot of us have the thought of there's too many games to spend time in early access. So
yeah,
we'll play it when it's done.
Just wait.
Blender85, member for 20 months in tip jar.
Thanks, Blender.
And then El Rampo comes back again with another $5 and says, I forgot that I said the same thing about gaming versus games last week. Lol.
That's because you're in a time loop.
Oh my
We're
god.
all in a time loop.
We're in El Rompa's time loop.
We're in
Incredible.
the Windbreaker time loop where we have to come here Monday morning and talk shit. Anyway, Ryan Betts gives $2, says time travel show recommendation, Netflix's Dark. Okay, thank you. Probably
I
won't
love
watch
Netflix's
that.
Dark. Yeah.
Never heard.
Dark is good stuff.
Synopsis, what's it about, Marty?
It is impossible. It is a dark German sci-fi fairy tale about time loops and time travels and doppelgangers and children getting murdered in the forest.
German things are the darkest version of those things, including bread.
Love a dark German rye.
German bread is the darkest bread.
Dark German Reich? What?
Dark German
Rye.
bread. Rye.
Oh, rye.
Yes.
The third rye. We're just talking about the third rye, and I don't know why you're freaking out, Jay.
Rye, man.
Vactor, member for 30 months in the Green Gang, says, was pissed at Palm Springs until I saw post-credit. Okay, I haven't seen the film, so I don't know what it was.
I have seen the film, but if it was over 5 years ago, it doesn't count because I've forgotten everything.
I don't know.
Lap343 gives $2. It says, for the dogs, Green Heart, and Little K.
Little K.
Ludo, it was for you, pup.
Then Gay Bear Mountain gives $5 and says, bonus for Ludocam.
Doggos.
Woo!
And Prime Paradiso gives £199 and says, didn't know Yuri Lowenthal voiced the prince in Sands of Time.
I only figured that a few weeks ago.
Yes, I knew that.
It's almost like he can Yuri do it all.
He was putting on his posh British accent that he does.
I always get confused because he also voices a bunch of people in Hitman World of Assassination. And whenever I hear him speak, I'm like, Spider-Man? What the fuck? Like, what are you doing here?
What are you doing out there?
He looks so much like a poor man's Ryan Reynolds.
A poor man's Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah, bring him up again, Eric.
Yeah, he looks like a youth pastor.
He's wearing a Hey, kid, he sits on his chair backwards. Hey, kids, let's rap.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard about Persona?
Yeah, he does his nerdy character voice in Persona 4, where basically what he does is screech all of his lines.
Yep, that sounds about right.
I think he's a great voice actor. I like him.
Well, he's certainly a busy one.
I like him. Also, we just got a new super chat in. Not a super chat, a Ko-Fi dono.
Oh,
from
shit.
Sony and Cher. Not Sony and Cher. Sony and Cher. I got you, babe. That was what it said. I got you, babe. That's one of the classic Sonny and Cher songs.
Yes, yes, and it's a reference to Groundhog Day as well, because that's the song that plays at the start of every loop.
I love a time loop that has a grounding song. Russian Doll has the same thing.
Song. Yeah.
A groundhogging song, but I like it. It like audibly orientates you to like, ooh, I'm in a new loop because I hear this song.
Shorthand band.
There must be a lot of temptation to sort of use a song that's really on the nose, like Time After Time.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, yeah.
But anyway, that's it for Super Chats, so that'll be it for this podcast. Thanks for listening, as always, and thanks for all those lovely Super Chats. They will go towards a good cause, that is to say, me trouncing Marty in a video game trivia contest, or indeed me having to eat my words and eat a bunch of crow pie, or whatever that term is.
Oh, that's a bit of pie.
A whole pie made of crows. All those baubles and whatnot.
I got two sayings confused. Eat crow and eat humble pie.
Eat humble pie.
I realized after the fact.
I've taken a bite out of this humble crow.
Yes. So that'll be it for now. I will be back on Wednesday for my weekly stream, Yahtzee Tries, where I stream indie games, and also for Fully Ramblomatic, which will be on the subject of the Gothic remake, which is a review I got done before my vacation, so it's a bit late. Game came out a while back, but it's a fun review. Nice. And if you have any familiarity with the game, you'll probably know why. Because that game really pisses you about.
Does it have any goths in it?
Surprisingly, no. It doesn't feel very gothic for a game called Gothic. Just feels more like a very miserable game about being in a generic fantasy world.
So that's state of mind.
Yeah, that's that. I've also got a semi-ram dropping this week. It is on the subject of bigness. A subject very close to my heart and indeed my other parts of my body.
Talk about his wiener.
His little toe.
About his wiener.
Excuse me. Don't be so crass. I was talking about my vocabulary.
Oh yeah, it is. It is thick.
Verbose.
And and also a new episode of Adventurers Nigh on Saturday. Yes, or was it last Saturday?
It was last week. Episode 4 was right. 4, 5.
Yes. So remember,
one of the episodes was this weekend.
Episode 4 came out last Saturday, so go watch that. It's good.
Mm-hmm. It was very good. It ends a perfect little cliffhanger ending.
There you go.
Also, return to a lot of beloved characters. The return of a lot of beloved characters.
So that'll be it for my stuff for this week. What else we got?
Jay, what do you got?
I had an episode on Majora's Mask, so if you want some more time loopy design delving, you can go watch that. It came out last week. And the vote for the next Retro Never Before Played game came through last week, and it's going to be on Final Fantasy IX. But that will not be the next episode. The next episode of Design Delve is going to be on Myst. And how that game kind of got worse with every remake of it, which is kind of baffling.
I mean, it wasn't a great game to start with.
I really like the original Myst.
I like Myst.
I've also not played it since I was a kid.
I don't think it ages well. It was one of those games that was selling itself on the, high definition graphics. And inevitably, when a game does that, it doesn't age very well.
But yeah, I'm going to have a bunch to say on all of that in the next Design Delve coming out on Monday. And yeah, I'm going to be starting FF9 on stream tomorrow. So if you want to watch that live, that's going to be at 7 EST.
Oh my goodness. One whole stream of the start of a Final Fantasy game. You might get a whole 0.00% through the game.
No, I stream for like 7 hours 3 times a week.
I know how long you stream, and I meant what I said.
You'll get out of the first city. I think you can get out of the first city. Yeah. Excellent. And then we have later this evening, the Hidden Gems crew will be back with Hot Monday Energy. We got a new backdrop tomorrow, as well as an episode of The Rewind. We'll be chatting about Supergirl, as well as our thoughts on Widow's Bay, the new series on Apple TV Plus.
That.
Yeah, really great show. And then, there should be relatively soon today. There will be a video up. A bunch of us played a bunch of Steam Next Fest games and cobbled together a list of our favorites. So check out for that video. Should be within the next hour or two.
All right, but that needn't be all. If you're a member of the Patreon of the extra content tier or above, the whole bunch of shit you can be watching right now. Such as the video in which we discussed which of the bosses of Dark Souls 1 would make the best roommates. I think we all contributed to that one, and I think we all had a very intelligent discussion on the subject.
Yes, and that is going to be part 1 of a 3-part series. We've already recorded our ranking of Dark Souls 2 bosses, and we'll do a Dark Souls 3 one as well. Yeah. And also, Yahtzee, you'll probably have a new lore read in the near future as well.
I will indeed. It will be on the subject of the Mega Man series, and that'll be just for Patreon viewers who have been very much appreciating my lore reads as they've come out. So that's all the things you could get if you choose to support the channel by going to patreon.com/secondwindgroup and donating as little as $1 a month, but at least $5 if you want to participate still in the summer game drought vote, which is still ongoing. Slay the Princess might not win.
You got about 48 hours left
right now.
Vote early, vote often.
If the Factorio or Danganronpa fans get in right now, they could have a chance to unspoil the spoiler.
One of them needs to start courting the handful of Rayman and Final Fantasy IX fans. I think you can still change your votes.
So I'm saying right now, I think next year I'm going to officially veto Danganronpa and Factorio. They've shown up because I want people to be excited about a list of all new games, and frankly, the running gag has gone on long enough.
Yeah.
And honestly,
like a nice fresh list, 6 fresh games with no agenda, no memes, nothing.
And frankly, I don't particularly want to review Factorio because
it's going to be Satisfactory, and Danganronpa 2 will be on the list.
Oh shit. Anyway, So join the Patreon, patreon.com/secondwindgroup. Support the channel, keep us all going. We're not asking for something for nothing here.
Yeah. Appreciate y'all.
And that'll be it from us for now then. I'll see you all on Wednesday.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.